Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling Ranter. I'm the Wrestling Ranter, and today we talk about WWE Night of Champions. We begin, of course, with the pre-show match, a six-man tag featuring Stardust and the Ascension versus Neville and the Lucha Dragons. To begin with, it was a surprise that the Ascension and Stardust would go over. I was fully expecting Neville, being the most talented of all six men in my opinion, to be on the winning side. However, it was a welcome break from the status quo. I will give Stardust credit for making the Ascension look semi-competent because they had a long way to go up. They've been incredibly sloppy in the ring. So this made them look decent, and that's a big improvement for them. Next, we had Ryback versus Kevin Owens for the Intercontinental title. This is kind of surprising because I'm used to Kevin Owens having 5-star matches, but in this occasion, it is not his fault. I repeat, not his fault. Because as good as Kevin Owens is, and he's had some fantastic matches in his entire career, you can only do so much when a meathead decides he is not going to move. Up until this time, I liked Ryback, but this match really highlighted every single weakness he's ever had, which every detractor has ever brought to the attention of any fan. I'm hoping now that the Intercontinental title is in Kevin Owens' possession, Owens can do for that title what John Cena has managed to do for the U.S. title. That is, revitalize a title that has had an incredible lineage. I mean, how many legends have held that title? But as of late, it's been nothing but a curse. It seems that once you get it, before Owens got it, you're usually relegated to the mid-card or you get hurt. So that has dubbed it the cursed title. But we will see. I'm highly hopeful, because if anyone can do it, it's an athlete like Owens. So big ups for that one. Let's see. Next, we had Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev. Summer Rae at ringside. The best way I can sum up this match, I don't care. I don't care about this match. I don't care about this feud. I don't care about the story they're trying to tell, meager though it is. I will give Lana credit for attempting to play the I'm the strong woman who finally decided to get out of the toxic relationship story, and that would work, except now they've reversed it while Lana's away, and it at least appears that Dolph is cheating on Lana with Summer Rae. Major downgrade, bro, in my opinion. Perfectly nice woman, Summer Rae is, but really? You should be trying to look for someone who can upgrade your talent, not take it down. Like I said, this match is disappointing because while the action's good, it's sad because you have the most glorified jobber, in my opinion, in Dolph Ziggler. Yes, he manages to win once in a while, but let's face it, he's really just there to take bumps because that's how he got over. Versus a guy who was a beast, and still is a beast of an athlete in Rusev. Unfortunately, anytime someone seems to get a little traction, what do? They decide to feed him to Super Cena. But we're going to get to that later. And by that, I mean Super Cena. I'm not done with him just yet either. Anyway. Pardon me. Next on the docket was the Tag Team Championship. New Day versus the Dudley Boys. You know, I've come to respect New Day. They may be annoying, but that's what heels are supposed to do. They're supposed to make you want to hate them. Mission accomplished. However, today we took it one step further. What do I mean? I mean, not only do we have Kofi Longstocking and his incredibly freakish hair, but today we also had Xavier Woods, who had a hairstyle that looked like he dyed at least portions of his hair red and then took a weed whacker to it. I tell you, between you two guys, fortunately Biggie hadn't gotten in on the act, but if he ever does, there's only one thing I can say that will adequately describe this group right now. Forgive me, this is my first time recording this video. And that is, your hair sucks. Your hair sucks. But we knew that. Not a surprising match because New Day goes over by disqualification thanks to Kool-Aid Man and his incredibly bad hair and trombone. This feud isn't done, nor do I expect it to be. I see a tables match in the future. New Day is going to go through a table, and then Dudley Boys will get their 10th tag title run. If you're paying attention, by the way, they've had more than 10 tag teams title runs, but WWE only cares about their company. So for those interested in the actual number, this will be 23 tag title reigns for Team... I called them Team 3D. Shame on me. That's a TNA reference. The Dudley Boys. That's who they are, and that's who they always should have been. Anyway. Next. Oh, yeah. Okay. Before I continue, a little warning to everybody out there. From here on out, my reactions and dissertation of the events may be quite a bit more adult. So if you have young children in the area, you might want to send them in a place that's harder to hear me. I'll give you a minute. I'll wait. I got nothing better to do. Have you moved him yet? Okay. So, we come to Nikki Bella versus Charlotte for the WWE Divas Championship. This match hurt my soul. Not because the action was actually bad. In fact, for a Nikki Bella match, it was quite good. However, I noticed in the pre-package intro to this match that was playing all through the nights, when they were highlighting all the great champions, AJ Lee, the previous Divas Championship record holder, was not listed. That doesn't surprise me. It really doesn't. Because, of course, since she's married to CM Punk, the guy who made his name in WWE by being his own man, and then decided he wasn't going to take Vince's bullshit anymore, and left, well, of course, we've got to screw over the woman that he's married to. I mean, that's just best for business, right? No. Nikki Bella. Oh boy. Let me be clear. Before everyone from the Divas Revolution showed up, I'm including Paige in that even though she was there for a while, you were, and it saddens me to say this, you were the best piece of talent actively competing in the Divas division. However, the only reason that you broke that record was so WWE could stick it to AJ Lee and CM Punk. Not that they care, because they're too busy watching CM Punk get ready for his first MMA fight and enjoying Chicago sports teams, as they should, because they are awesome. And the only reason it was you, in my opinion, that got that push is because of who you choose to lay down with every night after the show gets over. That's right. It's because you are having your way with John Cena, or John Cena is having his way with you. Frankly, I don't care, and that's not a visualization I want in my head. But since I put it there, it's because of you. It's not because of the talent. It's because of your boyfriend. Your boyfriend is John Cena, And that's why you were in the position that you were for as long as you were. And something tells me, since they had Charlotte injure herself, which she may have actually gotten hurt, but it seemed like a kayfabe angle, that I'm hoping Charlotte gets a long run. Not as long as you have, because honestly, long women title runs really take out the competition. So, yeah. Kudos for Charlotte, because she looked like a warrior. And to finally have that moment to celebrate with her father in the backstage area, I'm not going to lie, even I got emotional at that one. Kudos to Charlotte. Long live the new queen. On with the Divas Revolution. And maybe now we can forget about all this team stuff and put the focus on the title where it's supposed to be, where women can have decent one-on-one matches as it was intended back in the days of Fabulous Moolah and Trish Stratus and Lita, a Divas division that I still sorely miss, but we're at least headed in the right direction. Now, we come to the 6-man tag. The Wyatt family versus Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and their mystery partner. Let me be clear. When I was thinking about who this could have been for the mystery partner, I was expecting a guy built like a brick shithouse. Because you need someone who can counter the beast that is known as Braun Strowman. That was my intention. If I were putting this together, you could have brought Goldberg into this match. I hate Bill Goldberg. He's a no-talent hack who can't seem to wrestle for more than 5 minutes. But at least if you brought him in, I'm like, okay, now we got a big, strong powerhouse guy who can take on Strowman. WWE didn't do that. They brought Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho. He is a fantastic performer. I have nothing but respect for Chris Jericho. But, let's face it, Chris Jericho and Braun Strowman, here's the scale, and here's Strowman right now way up here, and here's Jericho way down here. He is not a guy that I would expect be able to beat Braun Strowman. It's just like when The Shield took on the Brothers of Destruction with Daniel Bryan. All due respect to the Flying Goat. Once Daniel Bryan was added to that team, you knew he was the weakest link. You knew he was the one that was going to be focused on. And if there was someone who was going to lose, it was going to be Daniel Bryan. This was rehashed with this angle. Now, at the end of the match, Jericho is kind of pissed off. He bumps out of Reigns' way and Ambrose's way, and he storms off in a huff, doing the whole whiny Chris Jericho thing that we've gotten used to over the years. That's fine. I hope they bring him back as a heel, because I honestly enjoy Chris Jericho more that way. This feud isn't done, as you can well expect. Ambrose and Reigns will find another partner. Eventually they'll find someone who can counteract this guy. Please don't let it be Eric Rowan. Please, 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 please. WWE, I've never asked you for anything. Please don't destroy the tag team of Harper and Rowan. Your tag team division is in shambles, and it needs the Wyatt family. Now that you got your head out your butts and finally put the group back together, you need to keep them together. Once Rowan comes back from his torn tricep, that group is going to set the WWE on fire and break up the status quo. Something we've all been asking for since about 2006. We're still waiting. Vince McMahon, I'm looking at you. Because we know you're the catalyst that changes anything. Moving on. Here we come to a surprisingly good match. John Cena versus the White Ranger. Seth Rollins. You look like the White Ranger, though. Seriously, Seth, if you happen to watch this, I don't know why you would, but Jason David Frank called. He really wants his attire back. This match surprised me. I was seriously expecting this match to go on first because I was expecting them to want to give Seth Rollins as much time as they could for him to recover. That being said, I was pleasantly surprised because it showed off what any consummate wrestling fan should know, and that is that when Seth Rollins isn't playing the coward who runs from everything, he is actually a fantastic wrestler and a fantastic performer. This match was fantastic. Even though it had John Cena in it, it was amazing. Kudos to Rollins for helping Cena look as good as he did. And the punishment he took in that match and after that match showed major heart for the heel. If you ask me, the heel ended up looking rather babyface in that regard. But that seems to be a quasi sort of booking that they're going to these days. So it is what it is. Cena wins, no surprise. Rollins drops the lesser title. Now then, we come to perhaps the most irritating match of the night. Sting versus Seth Rollins. Let me be clear. I did not expect Sting to have the title for long. I fully expected that if Sting had won the match, that Sheamus would have cashed in and made Sting's title reign very short. That I could have lived with. I could have lived with that. Vince McMahon, look at me, you SOB. You, sir, have a way of making people who worked for rival companies miserable. I understand Sting worked for WCW at a point when they were handing you your wrinkled, trick-doing ass. And I understand that he wasn't there during the incredibly terribly booked Invasion angle, so you could make him eat his crow like you're doing right now. However, for a company that regularly praises itself on how it treats legends of the business, you have failed, sir. You have failed to honor the legacy of Sting. I know you're probably thinking, this is what's best for business, and this is the way of the future. And he's got to eat his crow because I didn't get a chance to make him pay when I wanted to. But you know what? In the end, who are you hurting? Are you hurting Sting's legacy? No. Thanks to the network, we can go back and see just how good he was anytime we wanted to. Are you hurting your own company's reputation? Kinda. I mean, if a respected legend like Sting can be treated so badly, what's to stop you from hurting anybody else? Oh, is it because none of the other legends really competed against you? Well, I mean, superstar Billy Graham took you on Donahue and accused you of making him take steroids that shut down his liver. I don't blame you for that, Vince, by the way. That was all Billy Graham's doing. So, what does it come down to? I want Sting to have a victory in WWE. And I want it to be a moment that matters for him. I'm nodding a lot because this is what you should be thinking as you sit here listening to me saying this. I have a feeling I'm not the only wrestling fan out there that is displeased with how Sting has been treated. By the way, you own everything about WCW. So why did you feel the need to give Sting that atrocious theme song that he has, when in actuality his crow music is iconic? Hell, you used it to market the 2K15 secret character, pre-order character, whatever the hell bullshit GameStop pulls these days. You used that theme in the commercial to highlight that Sting was in the game. Why did you feel you had to make a new one? Anyway, that goes beyond the scope of this pay-per-view. To top it off, Rollins wins. And then out comes the returning Big Red Monster. Or the devil's favorite demon, whatever you want to call him. Now, I should be happy. And in fact I am, because I'm tired of Glenn Jacobs looking like a Men's Outfitter advertisement. But let's be real about one thing. Where's this going to go? Even if Kane stands up on his own and says, you know what? I'm done dealing with the authority because as loyal as I've been, they didn't have my back when I needed it. They were too busy taking care of their boy, Seth Rollins. Well, Kane shouldn't be able to beat Seth Rollins, at least fairly. Because every time Kane gets in trouble, somebody is going to come back, or someone's going to come in with a stipulation that is going to save Seth Rollins from the Big Red Monster. This is so predictable. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I want to be wrong. I want Kane to have one more run. I want this resurrection of the demon to mean something and not be 2 weeks in and, okay, I've made my point. I'm going back to my slack-wearing, elbow pad-wearing ways. No, please don't go back to this, Kane. Stay as the demon. I was so excited when you resurrected yourself as the demon. I marked out like crazy. When you came out with the fire and everything, I marked out like crazy. This was a good thing. But WWE being what it is, they're going to ruin it. I know it. I know it. I know it. I guess we move on to C. Overall grade of the pay-per-view, B-. That which was good was really good. Unfortunately, that which was bad was really fucking bad. You're capable of better, WWE. I've seen it. I've seen it in the modern era. All I need to do is pop in my WrestleMania 28 Blu-ray, and I'm reminded of how good a pay-per-view you can put on when Vince takes his head square out of his ass. But we aren't going to see that for a while because WWE's the game in town. So we're stuck. But, in one way, that makes me smile. Because that gives me a lot more to complain about. This is the Wrestling Ranter, saying I'll catch you guys next month. Please leave a comment in the video if there's any past events. I do have the network so I can cover past events if you'd like to hear my opinion on them. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Catch you later, Internet.